What is going on, my people? Yo, I'm so geeked tonight. And welcome to the Financial Power Hour with your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. You are being blessed with our first annual holiday edition, episode 31 of the Financial Power Hour. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Tonight we have four of our favorite guests from this year talking about what they're thankful for in their life, in their profession in general. And we're going to have an amazing show for you tonight. And before we do, y'all going to suffer through me in the intro. Take it away.
I grew up in West Philly, and times was tough. Single mom, 4 kids, there was never enough. What's a youngin' to do? Join a gang or a crew, or go to school, hit the books, and find a mentor or two? God was on my side, Mom's was not with the games, so I studied extra hard, created a lane, read books by Warren Buffett and Benjamin Graham, spent time on Wall Street, and now I'm the man. But there's still much to do, and plenty to say, so I present the Power Hour by Wealth Our Way. Enjoy the show.
I love it. What's good? What's good? You know, every time I see the intro, it actually literally reminds me of my childhood. And I can see my mom slapping me many times for being a disenfranchised youth who didn't know right from wrong until she made sure I remembered right, because she was going to treat me wrong if I did wrong. But, you know, as we bring tonight's show to everyone, I want to do what I always do to start every show, which is practice the attitude of gratitude. I want to say thank you to each and every person who is here with me live as we stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook page and the YouTube Wealth Our Way network page. It's been such a blessing in the second half of this year to watch the Wealth Our Way network page grow. If you have not done so, please subscribe, and also please share all of the social media and information that we share across social media to your network. I also want to give the Wild Nation salute to the many members of Wealth Our Way Nation who watch the programs pre-recorded overnight, over the weekend, wherever they can get their financial literacy fix. And then a heartfelt how are you to the great people on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. So we are doing a first here on the Financial Power Hour and Wealth Our Way, 15 Minutes of Finance, any of our broadcasts for that matter. We are doing a collaborative effort of previous guests who have been on our platform to talk about what it is that they are thankful for as we approach tomorrow, Thanksgiving, big man, Super Bowl. You know, we're going to get it in. And I don't know, you know, my producers are amazing. You know, always love what the team does and how they do it. But I'm not sure how we're putting everybody's visual up on the screen as I do my intros. So, you know, normally as I start talking, they'll throw an intro up. But what we're doing tonight is going to be very much, I would say, talk show style. We're going to have 4 amazing guests that have been on the show before. We're going to bring them on one at a time, talk for maybe 8 to 9 minutes about their individual situation, what they're thankful for. Then we're going to slide them down the virtual sofa, bring the next guest on until at some point in the program, we have everybody here and we're just one big happy family talking about all things that we are thankful for. So with that being said, I believe we are starting with my girl, Sam, the life insurance. Just, you know, she's the queen of life insurance. I don't care what she calls herself. I'm going to call her the queen of life insurance because I've met Sam through our producers. They introduced it to me. I have a life insurance background. I worked at New York Life Insurance Company for, I think, about 6 years. So I got under the hood. I said, they don't know nothing about nothing. Let me see if Sam is that work. And Sam is that work. So no further ado, what is going on, Sam? Welcome back.
Hey, Tank. It's so good to be back. Hey, everybody. Happy early Thanksgiving to everyone out there.
We love it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take full credit for it. After the night show, it's no longer Sam, the life insurance agent. It's Sam, the life insurance queen.
Like, hey, I like that. I got to get that branded.
No doubt. So, you know, when the team got together and we talked about doing a special holiday show, We wanted to do something different. We wanted to not just have people on who we knew were dynamic and would keep the audience riveted through questions. We wanted to get more personal. We wanted to, there's so much going on in the world in general, in America in particular. And we wanted to talk to people and maybe just give a little more hope to everybody who's going through their own personal situations right now. The reality is that we have a recession, whether we believe it's a real recession or a felt recession. We have violence in this country is at an all-time high. I believe today there was yet another mass shooting. We have, unemployment. We have the cryptocurrency markets in complete free fall.
Yeah.
We have so much going on that it's easy to feel sorry for ourselves. It's easy to look around and see total chaos. And sometimes we have a hard time just bringing it back in and saying, hey, I woke up this morning, I got a roof over my head, I got somebody I can call when I need to talk, food is on the table, things aren't that bad. So I want to hear from you, and you tell me, in your world, tell me, give the audience, refresh everybody's memory as to who you are, what you do, and then let's talk about your world a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm Sam, single mom of 3, living in New York City, one of the craziest cities out there, I think, at this moment. Life insurance is my passion. It's something that I take very personal, as I saw what the lack of life insurance did to a family. So I became an agent to help educate more people on the importance, not just of life insurance, but of the potential that it holds to help people just change the trajectory of their lives. In addition to that, I am a director of operations. I'm a published author. I wrote my second book, and it became Amazon bestseller. That just goes over the 4 steps of building a financial foundation. Because like Tink, I'm very serious about helping people within my community understand what it takes to be financial free, regardless of where you come from. As a single mom, I know how hard it is. I struggle, but I learned if you make that foundation strong, when the storms come and weather, you're still standing there. You may be hair may be a little messed up, but you're still standing there strong. So that's a little bit about my backstory.
It's crazy you mentioned that. I've told the audience earlier this week, yesterday, when we did 15 minutes of finance, that my oldest daughter, my big baby Bria, she lived through a fire this week. Not even a week yet, Friday of last week, I woke up to a couple of missed FaceTime calls, and she's like, "Daddy, I don't want you to worry when you see this, but my house caught fire." I was like, "You don't want me to worry. I'm in Vegas." I was in Vegas at a conference, and 3-hour time difference. I think it was 4 in the morning when she FaceTimed me, and I'm an old man now, so I wasn't out enjoying the Vegas streets. I was snoring when she hit me, but she lives in a block of Philadelphia. Philly is known for having row homes where all the homes are attached to one another. She lives in a block where the homes are semi-attached. So 2 big houses together, then a side alley, then 2 big houses up and down the street. And the house attached to hers completely burnt down. And it caused significant damage to her home. So I, as if God wanted to write a script for what to be thankful for this week, I'm done. Like, my child is alive,
Yes.
and it's just one of those things where you don't realize how many things are coming at us so quickly in the world, and we all have to pivot. We all harbor such pains and such, there's a Wale line. I'm going to butcher it. When my boy Devlin comes on later, I challenge anybody to beat Devlin in hip hop historian challenge. This boy knows every line of every song, but it's a Wale song about past loves being like scars, because the wound heals, but the scar is always there to remind us. And I think it goes well beyond past loves. It just goes beyond past experiences.
Yeah.
We all have a litany of experiences that make us who we are. So, I want to hear more about, I know some things from the last time you were on the show. I want to hear more about your health, what's been going on with you. I hear the kids in the background. I want to hear, I know you're thankful for the kids. So let's just talk about, let's get right to the get right.
Well, first, I'm very thankful that your daughter is good, and that she's safe and she's here with you. that is something that to be very, very thankful for. Yeah, that's my 2-year-old, and she sounds like it's 4 kids, but it's just one of her. She's so active, it's crazy. But yeah, she's very, very busy. So what my health is, I'm here. That's all I can say. I'm here. It's just it's an ongoing battle. So I'm still every day taking it day by day. Very grateful and thankful. One thing I learned is that sometimes we look for the big, big things to be thankful for. And I learned that we have to be thankful for the small things, the things, because they compounds into bigger things. And that's what I learned over the years. Just living life in general, being thankful for just the small things, waking up in the morning, being able to walk, having function in my hands. Remember one time my MS was so bad I couldn't write. No one knew I couldn't write at work anymore. So it's just those little things that I'm thankful and grateful for every single day.
I love it. And we're grateful for you. We're grateful to have you. And the fact that, you bring such a light with your smile and with your energy. And when we were going around the room, because we love everybody who has graced 15 minutes of finance in the Financial Power Hour. We have the most amazing friends and networking guests.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Thank you so much. And when we were going around, like, who do we want to talk to and have the people? And we couldn't narrow it down. So we've already now said, we've already got like 13 people. So we did the Thanksgiving show. Now we're going to do a Christmas show. We're going to do a Valentine's Day show. It was so hard. And it was just, we had to bring you back on because of the energy that you show and share and the things that you overcome on a daily basis. I have a relative with MS, a very good friend with MS. Now you're in my life, you have MS. I know it is a terribly debilitating disease from day to day. And I think one of the worst things, if I may say, one of the worst things that's not suffering from it is the unpredictability of it.
Yes, it's the unknown. It's definitely the unknown. Like if my arm gives out, that's going to be it for me? Like it's just the unknown that mentally, psychologically gets to you all the time.
I feel you on that. Well, I want to say thank you personally for coming on the show again. Tell us what you're thankful for outside of the things that have been going on health-wise as we move. We're going to slide you down the sofa. I want you to close out your time with telling us what you're looking forward to as the year comes to a close and what you're thankful for.
Right now, I am thankful for education, network, and opportunity. I'm thankful for me being able to go down this financial journey and bringing it back to people within my community and giving them hope, letting them know that no matter where they come from, they can make a difference in their family's lives financially, and they can build a legacy for the next generation to come.
I love it, and I am thankful for you. So thank you, Sam. As we move Sam down the sofa and Gary bring on my next guest, I got to tell you that Devlin came through as I expected he would and hit me with the Wale lyric. It's life's hard and ex-lovers is like scars because it never stops hurting and we never forget what it was. So there is the line. It stops hurting, but we never forget what it was. So my man, Ferdinand Risco, is coming up next. And Ferdinand was just on the show, I want to say 2 weeks ago, with his lovely wife, Stacy. He's an entrepreneur coach. He teaches people the business of being in business. His background is that of being a CEO, being a logistics god, telling everybody everything on the supply chain, how to get things from A to B to C to D. And the reality is that there's so much that goes on from the time you see something on the shelf all the way back to its thought of being created. And Ferdinand, who I will slip up from time to time on the show tonight and call Frenchie, that Ferdinand is responsible for that process. So with no further ado, I bring my man Ferdinand Risco to the family couch tonight.
Thank you. And I appreciate it as always. And it's good to be back. Good to be back.
We love having you, brother. So, I know you were a recent guest. You and the missus were out here last week, 2 weeks ago. You and I have been in constant contact over the past couple of weeks because I have taken a position with a cannabis cultivation startup in New Jersey called Good Lettuce. And the reason I got involved was because one of my clients wanted to invest in this company. He gave me the package to look over. I looked it over. I thought it was amazing. And I decided to endorse it for him, but also get involved myself. And getting involved led to me getting other clients involved and then eventually taking a position. The thing I love most about being involved in this process with the CEO, Travis Alley, is that Travis is a great leader, and him and Ferdinand share a military background, because Travis doesn't have an ego that stands in the way of letting him know when he needs help. And he said, hey, Tank, you know all this finance stuff. I got to have you on the team. So what did I do as soon as I got on the team? I called Ferdinand Risco, and I was like, dude, I can do the money. My man knows everything about cannabis that somebody could ever know. We're good there. But operations, back office, different divisions of the company, the business plan, the marketing directives, logistics, we're leaking in that area. And my man stepped right up to the plate. So, hey, I'm thankful to have you as a resource to be able to call, and that you answered the call for me. So I appreciate you, man. But I want you to tell me what's going on in your life and what are you thankful for right now?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And, I'm most thankful for friends and family. I know it sounds like the good old cliche, but, the friends and family, everybody's kind of reconnected, the last couple years with the pandemic being, in such close quarters. I actually withdrew and, have kind of been missing in action for the last few years, and really just over the last several weeks have decided to get back out there. And so I'm thankful for my friends and family who have supported me through my hiatus, and all that good stuff. But I'm also thankful for my clients. And again, I know that sounds real corny and a shameless plug, right? But it's folks that have entrusted me with their dreams, their hopes, and their passions, right? And they come and say, can you help me bring this to life? And you can't imagine how much of an awesome responsibility that is, but I love it. And it has really been great to just help people from a good idea all the way through, growing a logistics firm from, its infancy to 5 trucks. Or I've got a client who is a second generation or third generation female minority welding firm who's taking the business from, dad doing the welding in the back shop to government contracting. And so it's those kinds of, clients that we've come in touch with that really keep us thankful. And then I have to say, I'm thankful for my wife, my beautiful wife of 25 years, who's, stuck with me through thick and thin. And, if I don't say anything else, that's incredibly thankful for her and our children.
I have the benefit of calling you a friend and knowing you for a very long time. We both hail from the mighty Temple University, and I know your family. I know Stacy. I know the kids. First and foremost, man, and I'm just going to, no deference to you in this day and age. Unfortunately, you always have to qualify statements that take a path into gender or sexuality or anything. So I'm going to say no deference to women at all. I was raised by a strong, amazing single mom. But what I've learned as a man who grows into being a father and a husband, it is such a difficult role to play. I'm not going to even call it a job. It's such a difficult role. There is, I do a morning call. And I'm one of the things I'm thankful for is that I get on this call and have it with 3 amazing brothers every morning, 6 a.m. We don't get on this call, and sometimes we're bitching and commiserating. Sometimes we're uplifting. Sometimes we're brainstorming. 4 amazing. Well, I'm gonna be self-grandiose and say I'm one of the amazing. So 4 amazing brothers on the phone every morning, and one of my homies on the call just got out of jail. He was put in jail for contempt of court because he's going through a custody battle with his soon-to-be ex-wife. Got out of hand, got crazy. They locked my boy up. We were all trying to, get on the phone with the courts and everything, getting them out. And so he was the last one. As I was saying this yesterday, it hit me so hard that I couldn't let go of the thought all day. On the phone, you have 4 men. Collectively, I think we have 9 college degrees amongst us. We probably have a GDP annually of over $1 million. We're all very articulate. We're all fathers. We're all husbands or ex-husbands. And you know what our common thread was? We've all spent at least a day in jail. We've all spent a night in jail. what's that say about being a black man in America? That, people could argue we're the tip of the sword. Like, we the baddest cats out here. We doing things. And we've all been to jail. It's so hard to make it through as a man and as a father. And then you got this other side of the story, which is very few people want to hear you whine and talk about that. So I take a lot of pride in having our group in the morning. Also, shout out to Black Men Heal, a institution in Philadelphia ran by my girl Tasneem Suleiman, who provides a safe space and free therapy for men of color. And they have a virtual session every Sunday night called King's Corner, where brothers can just talk and get support. The reality is that we need it. And this is taking nothing away from the sisters. It's taking nothing away from my man Devlin, who's not black. Like, it's not taking away anything from anybody. It's just that it's freaking hard. And to be able to have a network that you can turn to, no matter what happens to my boys, I'm here for them. Because as the saying goes, but for the grace of God,
go but I. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so right. I'm not here to judge anybody. Like, because if you look at my history, I may not get the next job or the next client if you're not giving me the benefit of the doubt or the opportunity to explain my story. So I'm thankful that I have you in my network, good brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to get ready to slide into the next guest. So before I do that, I want you to close with one thing as you look toward the end of the year and the upcoming holiday season that you're thankful for getting to face.
Yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity to look in the mirror, right? And to recreate, reinvent, and be something new. That the energy to get out there and to really work with micro business owners, small business owners, and to help them, really achieve their dreams and desires. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
I love it, bruh. Well, with that being said, we're going to slide you down the sofa and bring on a young lady who is brilliant, beautiful, bodacious, talented, and very, very well connected, which is how we ended up becoming working together in Philadelphia in the real estate space. I want to bring on my girl, Devon. She is not just a realtor that would be selling her short. Her background is in property management, which she will tell you. She's a historically Black college grad. She reps her Florida A&M to the hilt. But she's in so many different spaces in the real estate game and gives the ability to educate people like myself and everyone else. And with no further ado, what's shaking tonight, Dev?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
We love having you. How are you tonight?
Good. This is actually really fun, like to fellowship with you all during the Thanksgiving week. I really appreciate the invite. Thank you.
No, we thank you. We're thankful that you were able to make it. I know your social card be all checked up in full, and it's the holiday week. So I wanted to, rub the lamp and make the genie appear if it was going to cause drama. So I appreciate you making some time for us.
Of course.
So what's been going on with you? Bring us up to speed, because it has been a while since you've been on the program. So bring us up to speed on all that's been going on with Devon, and then also, share some things that you're thankful for with us.
Sure. So thank you for that lovely introduction. My name is Devon Caudle. I am a Philadelphia native, but I also lived in Florida for a long time too. I am a Florida A&M University alum. I also am a realtor. I'm a commercial and residential property manager. I'm an investor as well. Do some consulting here and there, but since the last time we spoke, I've just been working a lot. Everybody's like, oh, the market is crazy. I keep hearing about interest rates rising, blah, blah, blah. People still have to move. They still need somewhere to live. When for example, if you get relocated because of your child, and you live in a studio, you don't have a choice to live regardless of whatever the interest rates are. So business is still moving and shaking. I'm still helping first-time home buyers, still helping people invest. Actually, Tank and I are working on some stuff. He definitely is sitting on a lot of equity, so we're trying to turn him from a residential real estate investor to a commercial real estate investor, which is very exciting stuff. So just been working with people, really connecting with people. I'm so glad that the holiday weekend is here. I could definitely use the break, the pause. So again, I just, I'm thankful for spaces like this where we can all be intentional about fellowship and about community and about holding each other accountable for our goals. I think we are in strange times globally where we are kind of forgetting about others and about how important community is to rely on each other. And so I'm just grateful for you always being community focused and, like focused on all of us collectively rising together to achieve our goals.
I so appreciate that. One of the things that, unless people are stalking your IG like I did when I first was introduced to you by our mutual friend, Nicole Purvey, shout out to Nicole Purvey and Better Than Success, was you're a world traveler as well. And, I think you've been a couple places since I've seen you last. So tell us about some of the things you get to see. And what I want to know, I think what will be helpful for the audience is, because you're blessed to the point where you can travel and see things, what perspective does that lend to you when you come back home and see Philly and can contrast it to other things that you've seen globally?
Oh, that's a great question and a loaded question. Let's see. I had the pleasure of going to Notting Hill Carnival in London this August. 2 weeks ago, I went to on a cruise with my mother and my sister. We went to Risco in the Dominican Republic. Definitely, I know for a fact, traveling and learning about other cultures, even if you're just there for 3 days, a week, whatever, it definitely expands you as a person, because one, you're immediately uncomfortable, right? Sometimes you're in a country where they don't speak the same language as you. You have to navigate different streets and different map systems and things like that. So it stretches you as a person, and you have to speak to other people, to others for help. And definitely the more you travel, the more you realize that we have a lot more in common than we do different. I feel like in America, especially in the there's a lot of divisiveness, there's a lot of fear mongering. You turn on the news and you would just think like Philly is just the worst place in the world, that is the trenches, right? But if you walk outside, and you drop something, a fellow Philadelphia will be like, here you go. And you know what I mean? Like the more you travel, the more you realize there are good people here. So I feel like it stretches you in a way that you have to become self-reliant, and you have to become uncomfortable in like doing scary things, like trying to speak in other languages and, connecting with people and trying different foods you're not used to. And also just, it's a reminder that like all of us really do have more in common than we really do apart. And just going outside, going to other neighborhoods in Philadelphia, in the city that you're from, meeting new people that way too, it just really proves to you that everybody's not bad. Everything is not doom and gloom. And again, I can tie it back to work. I feel like every time people are like, well, how's work going? I heard, rates are going up and the housing market's about to crash. And I'm like, that's not reality. I'm still, people still have to move, my full-time job will do well, we're getting bonuses this Christmas. Like, it's just, don't listen to what anybody tells you. One of my favorite places to visit is Mexico City. I've been to Mexico, the country, 3 times this year. But if you listen to the news, you would think, it's not safe to go there just because you're American. Don't listen to people. Definitely research, do your own research, explore this world. It's a beautiful place, and there are still lots of beautiful people in it.
And we love that. That's a great perspective. And I agree with you. Travel is one of the things. My mom didn't have a lot of money when we were young, didn't have any money when we were young. She would take us to Atlantic City and she would take us to the Poconos. And, if you're a Philly cat, that you know what that is, like, or a South Jersey cat. And it was enough. It was enough to let me see that there was something outside of the block that I lived on. And then, you know, when my mom was, whenever she really had a couple dollars, she would give me and my younger brother $10 together to share, not $10 each, $10 to do what we wanted with. And normally what we would do, I lived on 52nd Street. So for anybody who knows Philly, it literally is numbered from 1st Street up to 69th. So we would walk, because it was, you know, save our money on bus fare. We would walk from 52nd Street down to Broad Street, which is the word equivalent of 14th Street. We would walk, we'd go to the movies, catch a matinee. At that point in time, to show my age, it was $1.50 for the matinee movie on Saturdays. And then we go to the arcade and spend the rest of the money. And I've said this so many times in telling my life story. On that walk back, we always walked past Rittenhouse Square, which is like 19th and Walnut. And that was my first real indoctrination to wealth, my first indoctrination to people living better than me. And I stopped and I sat in the park, and I wanted to know why everybody was happy, why everybody had a smile on their face, why everybody was running around with their dogs off the leash, and kids, you know, no one worried about crime or, oh my God, he got his bag right there and he's not worried about somebody taking it. And, you know, you sit there and you realize there's a different world, even, you know, one zip code over from you. And then if you can expand that through the beauty of travel, you really get to learn that the world will teach you more than you can ever offer it if you're open to the experience of travel and seeing it. So I sincerely appreciate you giving us that perspective, Devin. I want you to tell the audience, as you round out 2022, I see your beautiful cat behind you, as you round out 2022, what you are thankful for and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Sam has her real kids in the background. I have my fur babies. But for the end of this year, I'm just really looking forward to, like I said, I love that we're in the holiday season. It's a really great time to pause and reflect and, you know, really connect with people that you haven't seen in a while. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited about tomorrow to see, both of my grandmothers are here in town. I'm blessed to have both of my grandmothers, you know, so just that's one of my favorite things about the holidays is to hang out with the old heads. Like, you know, it's so funny, especially once people get a little lit, they start, you know, showing out. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and taking a pause a bit as we enter the holiday season and winter solstice. This is really, everybody complains, I do as well, about the lack of daylight, about the days being shorter, about the weather. But, you know, when you really like lean into what like the earth is trying to tell you, that's what winter is for. Like, there's a reason why so many animals burrow and hibernate. Like, this is the time to be indoors, to call people that you haven't talked to in a while. I'm really looking forward to that, and to slowing down, to taking a pause. We get wrapped up in the hustle and bustle, you know, due to capitalism and consumerism. This is just a nice time to just really remember what really, really matters. And so I'm just really grateful for this time to be able to do that.
It's cuffing season. They're looking for big men out here too. So, you know, eat up because we warm. They can burrow up under us in this type of weather. So it's my
That's
time.
right. Big boy season.
Here it is. We may not make it in small cars or in the summer, but this is our season. Relish it. That's why I'm not getting no haircut no time soon. I'm gonna be warm everywhere. I'm like a bear right now. So with that, hey Devin, thank you so much. And I'm gonna stop saying Dev because I call my next guest Dev too, because he's Devlin, you're Devon. Thank you so much. Slide down the sofa as we bring on my man. Like, so you kind of can sound very disingenuous when you love everybody, which I do. I have a big heart, and if I've never met a stranger, I rock with everybody. I see the beauty in every person that I've ever met, and that just is, I think, a tribute to how my mom raised me. But also, it's a tribute to my optimism. I want everything to work out. I want everything to go well. But there are special people that you meet in your life, and you have no idea why they're special to you. Sometimes it shows immediately. Sometimes it shows in the distance. But when I tell you my next guest, Devlin, is, I tell everybody Devlin's like a brother to me, and it's just immediately, of course, the contrast is he's white and I'm black. But the other contrast is Devlin is very diminutive in stature, and I'm very damn near, bigger than the camera. So, it's always just an odd couple thing when we're out. But the common bond is the openness and love of people that Devlin has. His family. And I won't steal his thunder, but we lost his dad earlier this year. And when I tell you, his family, upon meeting me, I thought that I had met him before. Like they talked to me like they knew me for 30 years, and I was so welcome. And it's just that, when you grow up in an impoverished neighborhood, and I guess this would be consistent in every level of poverty. I don't always want to just wave the black flag of poverty. If you grow up in Mexico poor or Chinatown poor or whatever, you have this thing about security and theft and all that other stuff that you're not locking your bike up. You're not doing this. I remember going to Devlin's house and needing something, and his mom sending me upstairs. I'm like, you literally just met me 2 minutes ago, lady. I wouldn't send me upstairs. And I know I'm not a thief. Like, what are you doing? But with that being said, I want to bring my brother on the stage. Devlin, what's going on, baby?
Nothing much, my man. Thank you for having me on the show. Before we get into anything about me, I just want to congratulate you and the team. I can't believe you and I talked about all of this, Power Hour, Wealth Our Way, the podcast, the daily Facebooks before this ever got started. And I tell you all the time, sometimes you and I, and I'm sure most of us on this panel are kind of tunnel vision, alpha predator, forward looking, what's happening tomorrow people. It's just kind of in our nature. But at Thanksgiving and around the holidays, take a moment to turn around and look at all the people you've helped, whether it be for 5 minutes with a little piece of advice, or the hundreds or thousands of clients you've helped along the way, not just financially, but with their lives and their challenges and just being who you are. I don't think you realize the wake of positivity you leave, and no fat joke intended there, but you leave a large wake of positivity. You enter a room and the room is better for you having been there. And, I don't know if you hear that enough, but that's my 2 cents to you.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Where's my niece at? I saw you put on.
She was in. She and the kids are in the other room now. They're doing dinner. It's almost bedtime. So I've got a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So life is fun. But before I forget, Ferdinand hit it right on the head. Starting with thanks, my wife. I think a lot about the Chris Rock special, Tambourine. I get to play a lot of electric guitar, right? And it's because my wife holds it down, and I can be a great dad because she's carrying 80% of the load. And I do my 20% really well, but if I had to do 50%, 51%, I'd be complaining. So first and foremost, thank you to her for letting me be me.
Thank you, Jess, for sharing them for the night.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
So I wanted you hit on where I was going with it. Obviously, the thing I'm thankful for this year is my circle, my circle of friends, my circle of family. And for no other reason than I feel like, I'm going to be 40 this year. And I feel like for 39 years of my life, friends were a luxury. They were a luxury item. They were people you spent happy times with, but I never felt as though I needed to lean on my friends. I never needed a friend until this year. My dad was always my biggest cheerleader, always in my corner, supportive, guidance, everything else. So I had all that in one hell of a man. And then when he was gone, you start to realize the pieces you're not getting any longer, and you need to seek them out. I have a bit of an ego that likes to be stroked every once in a while. So finding the people who are going to remind you who you are and what you're working towards and what you've done. The world's a lonelier place if you don't have that circle of people around you to support you. So that's my thing. In concept, in specificity, and for those listening, I've been so lucky to have wonderful mentors in my life, and I think that at this stage as a young dad, and all that, having the luck of having good mentors, but also having the ability to have mentees, people now who I get to impart some wisdom to, whether they like it or not. And finding that balance. Both of those things feed my energy on a daily basis. That guidance. It doesn't matter how old you get. There's somebody who can teach you something. And it doesn't matter how young you are. There's something you've picked up along the way that could help somebody else out.
I love that. Hey, I always got to tell this story when time presents itself, and time presents itself right now. So you can't help, especially in America, race is front and center. It's always in your face. So it's hard to have a friend of another race and not talk about white-black issues. And for me and Devlin, it's always something very funny. Like, it's always our joke on the rest of the world that they care more about race than we do. So I'm a bit of a speed demon. Anybody who's been in the car with me or heard any stories, I gets it in the vehicles. And I used to own a Dodge Charger when they first came out. First year out the gate, I want to say it was 06 or 07. I bought a Dodge Charger, candy apple red. The SRTA had to have the best, top of the line, fastest one. Is before the Hellcat came out. Fastest one they made. Big mistake pairing me up with that car. Devlin was like, dude, you're going to have a problem. So here. And he gives me the card of his godfather, Uncle Al. And he says, hey, look, you ever get pulled over by anybody in Jersey, you give them this card, you tell them who your uncle is, and they will not give you a problem at all. So I'm like, okay, appreciate that. And, I'm not going to talk back to Devlin. I take the card. I'm like, I'm black though, right? And Uncle Al is very white, and they're going to know, the people who I give this card to are going to know it's not my real uncle, but okay, no problem. I may not say uncle when I get a card. Devlin won't be with me. I'll just say my real good friend. I'll use it though, because I'm sure I'm going to need it. Well, one day I was riding to New York. A buddy of mine called me last minute. So everybody's familiar with the high school All-American basketball game, the McDonald's All-American game. Michael Jordan came up with his own game, the Jordan Classic. And the Jordan Classic this year was being held at Madison Square Garden. I was still working primarily with athletes. And one of my boys who was a sports agent called me maybe an hour before tip-off and told me he had tickets. And I was like, hour and 25-minute drive, hour. I got my SRT-8. I can make it. And I start taking off up the road to make it to the game. I passed a state trooper coming the other way while I was doing 90 miles per hour and he was going this way. And I was like, man, I don't know if he clocked me, but I know that by the time he's able to get to a thing that allows him to turn around, if I really step on it, he'll never catch me. So I go from 90 to as fast as the car can go, like 123 or whatever. The needle is buried in the odometer. That dude never saw me nor cared about me. But the dude that was sitting at the underpass right up a mile ahead, I flew by him at 120 and he cared. So he came out. I was like, shit. And he pulls me over. I won't dare show this card because, I'm a professional at this point in my life. I'm a responsible adult. This was a favor given to me. I would use the favor if I was doing 80 or 90, but I'm not using the favor at 120. That's disrespectful in my opinion. I'm going to take my lumps. So get my ticket, and the dude is like, I could take your car right now. Like, what were you thinking? And I'm telling them what happened. Honestly, like, I tried to beat that cop, and it was bad luck. He's like, man, slow the hell down, and da-da-da-da. So I'm going to court, and I tell Devlin, like, in passing, I didn't even think of the story until, like, the day before it's time to go to court. I tell you, I got to court tomorrow. What you got to go to court for? And I tell him the story. He said, why didn't you give him the card? And I said, I wasn't giving him the card, man. I was doing 120 miles per hour. He said, go to court and just stay there. I said, go to court and stay there. He said, don't you do anything. Don't open your mouth. Just go to court. Okay. So I go to court and Devlin has called the appropriate parties. I get there and they say, Charles Harris. And the guy says, like, the officer, the trooper's not here to testify against you today. You'll have to come back in 2 weeks. I was like, okay. So I leave. I called Devlin. He said, what happened? I said, the trooper didn't come. He said, okay. He said, you don't have to go back. I said, no, Dev, they told me come back in 2 weeks. He said, you don't have to go back. He said, but Uncle Al wants to talk to you. And he puts Uncle Al on the phone. He says, when you have a card that's given to you by my godson, you use it. He said, now I had to call like 3 other people to get this charge thrown out, to get this done. It would have been just so much easier if you gave. I I was, first of all, as we say, we've gotten used to saying recently, our network is our net worth. I've never seen that much of a favor move that quickly. Real part of this story, the trooper apologized for pulling me over because I was cool with Uncle Al. I said, what the hell type of connections does my man Devlin have? But this was all from Dad. This is all from Rick. Like his pop had so much juice and connections in the state of New Jersey and passed that on to his son. And his son loves me so much that he extended it to me, even though he knew if anybody's going to use this car and be fast, it's going to be Tank. He did it anyway. So I always have to tell that story when I get a chance. Man, I miss your pop. I know you miss your pop. I know your family misses your pop, especially around the holidays, man. But what I will tell you is the greatest testimony to being a dad, in my opinion, is your kids. It's what they look like, who they are, the friends that they make, how people see them. And I've never been around anyone who you've introduced me to that doesn't hold you in the highest regard, bro. So, you know, I appreciate the kind words that you say about me and say to me, but right back at you, man. Like your family is blessed to have you as its leader, your sister, your mom, blessed to have you holding it together. I know you had to step into some very big shoes this year. No one is ever ready for that. So, you know, I love what you've done and how you've done it, man. I appreciate you for being my friend, and also appreciate you for the fact that, you know, a month ago, so Devlin, true to his words of building his circle and keeping his circle tight, Devlin said, hey, man, if we don't put stuff on the calendar between me and you, it doesn't get done. So we're going to have this call on Friday. There's no topic. We're just going to talk about life, our families, where we want to go. He said, because I think you're special. You're definitely special to me. And I want to help keep you grounded because you give so much. I want to make sure that, you know, I can pour back into your cup. And I thank you for that, man. I love you and I appreciate you for that, man. And we had to reschedule last week's call, but we will get it done.
Absolutely. You just with my dad in thought, my dad always told me that a friend is a gift you give yourself. And he held it in high regard that you can only ever really have 5 friends, because he held that word with such stature that a friend is the person that phone rings, you're already in the car on the way, you haven't even answered it yet, you don't know what you're walking into, but you know you're going. And that's the esteem I have for you. I count you amongst, you know, my 5, but that's what I aspire to. And I'm not even at 5 yet. I can't service 5 friends at the quality at which I want to. And that's what I'm aspiring to in the next year. In you know, prompt to your next question, that's what I'm looking forward to, is deepening the relationships I have with a few key people and kind of letting the noise fade a little bit.
I love that, man. And you've taught me a lot about relationships. I was telling someone earlier today, we're having Thanksgiving dinner at my mom's house tomorrow. It was supposed to be at my daughter's house, and her house caught fire. So we've shifted it to Ma Duke's. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't raised in a close-knit family. You know, my mom worked all the time. My dad wasn't around. And we went, you know, to boarding school. We all went to Girard College in Philly at some point for boarding school. We were not raised as a tight-knit sibling family. Watching my daughter, Bria, be so close to my mom and to my little sister, her auntie. She's family driven because her mom hammered that into her head. And when I got the text that there were going to be 18 people at dinner tomorrow, I'm not going to lie to you. My first reaction is I'm not going. Like, you know, I don't want to be around that many people, you know, because I whether it was growing up the middle child or we all deal with our childhood traumas, I've learned to navigate life as a solo artist in my mind. And it's difficult to open up and to just be vulnerable and transparent to the level that family kind of gets you at. And I don't want to be fake and disingenuous. So, you know, a lot of people said, dude, this is your second half of your life. This is the stuff you have to work on. My pastor always said, you will keep getting the same test that you have failed until you pass it. So for me, it's trying to open up a little bit because I live my life like Eminem's character in 8 Mile, where he did that final battle scene and he said all the bad stuff about him before the other guy could. People like, oh, Tank, you're so real. You're so transparent. I'm like, it's not fake. I am real and transparent, but it is my best defense mechanism. Like, I will tell you everything bad about me so you never have anything to hurt me with. Yep. And if that gives me credibility for being real and authentic, cool. But I'm doing it so nobody has a secret. There's nobody walking around that you're going to meet on the street like, you ain't know this about Tank. Yes, we do. Nigga tells, he tells us everything. So, you know, he tells us everything. We know everything about him. I think that's the first time this year. I'm thankful that that's the first time this year that word has slipped out my mouth. So that's pretty good. I'm 31 shows in. Lord knows how many 15 minutes of finances. I just got a little Marcus Stokes on the program. So we're all good now. It's official. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. And everybody on my production team was just 1,000% convinced that the way I run my mouth, that I could not have 4 guests and keep it into an hour. And so now we've had 4 guests and we're at the 50-minute mark. So
hey, you proved them wrong.
You can't. Although I gotta say, they're in the background chatting to me. It's time to move on to the next guest. So I'm not doing this on my own. But the reality is that I want to spend these last 6 to 7 minutes with everybody here together. Just kind of, although we've all talked about what we're thankful for to this point and what we're looking forward to, everybody go around. Ferdinand's back. Everybody go around and take a minute to speak to a person, a place, a thing that has happened in your life that you just want them to know, hey, on a day that I didn't think I could make it, you helped me make it, and I appreciate you. So we're going to start with Devon Caudle. Put her on the spot.
Way to put me on the spot. Recently, last Friday, I had to bury one of my very, very close girlfriends. And she was someone who recharged by doing things for others. My birthday was October 8th. Ellen was 9 months pregnant, and she came. I decided to celebrate birthday in New York this past one. We went to the ballet, New York, in New York City. We live in Philadelphia. Ellen was there, present in heels, dressed to the nines. Like she showed up. No matter what else she had going on, she showed up for other people. That is the way that she showed her love. Again, that's the way she recharged. Sadly, she passed due to she had a baby November 1st, and she passed November 9th due to an infection that spread to her bloodstream. But I'm very, very thankful for our friendship.
And I'm thankful for you for sharing that, and my condolences to you, and my prayers to you, prayers of strength and comfort, and to her family, and to her baby. And that's a mic drop. There's not much more you can say after that, but thank you for sharing that with us, Devon.
Not to get sorry, I'm not like, obviously this has been a process. Grieving is a process, so I wasn't intending to like cry.
No, but, you're more than welcome to cry.
You asked.
No, I was aware. I was aware from a distance because I saw the Instagram, but of course, hearing the pain in your voice, it makes me just want to personally say, I'm praying for your strength, and it's great that you had a friend like that in your life.
Yeah, no, I'm just thankful. She was only 35 years old, and the place was packed out. Her funeral had an overflow. Like, she impacted so many people in such a short time, and I'm just thankful that I met somebody like that. And Ellen reminds me a lot of you. You're somebody who people, you have, like, as soon as you meet somebody, like, people feel like they're connected to you. Like, she was very similar in that way. So, like, people like that, they don't come around often. So,
well, I'm glad that you were blessed to have her, and like I said, my prayers to her family. And I know that a person like that creates friends that makes a village around for her baby. I'm sure that that baby's going to have love in its life in perpetuity. So definite prayers from the whole Wealth Our Way family for Ellen and for her baby.
Thank you.
Sam, we're going to go ladies next, ladies first. By all means, share with us. I don't know what we could do after Devon to share.
I don't know, Devon. My heart is to you and your friends, family. That's tough. Really tough. So who I'm thankful for is my grandmother. She has always, well, she is still here. She's fighting kidney disease, the last stage, but just in her willingness to keep pushing and going for it, she's always been one that has inspired me. But at this moment, I am like on an all-time level of inspiration from her. Just from her pushing, she's been my rock with all three of my kids. I say I'm a single mom, but my grandmother's right there by my side. So she's someone that I'm very glad that she's around this long to not only raise me but help me with the upbringing of my children. So she's someone that I'm very thankful for. She's the person why I'm cooking Thanksgiving dinner, because she came out the hospital today and she's like, you better have my plate tomorrow. So before this, I was cutting up cheese and collard greens and candy and the yam. So she's someone that I'm very thankful and happy for, that I have another year with her, another day. I'm just blessed.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Ferdinand, what's up, baby? What you got for us?
Good brother, I wish that I could really point to one person. I talked about my wife already, but it has been, such crazy times in the last 3 years. And, 2022 has really shown me who's in my corner. And I tell you, I'm just going to say my circle. And I love and appreciate all of you because that does include you too, there, good brother. And so many folks that you just don't even know are rooting for you or in your corner or, supporting you in every way they can. And I just want to publicly say thank you to you all. You know who you are. And I really appreciate the love and support, through these crazy, crazy times.
Thanks for that, good brother. I appreciate you. And we love you, man. Devlin, bring us home, baby. Bring us home.
Yeah. For me, it's my kids. I think if you've been fortunate enough to have had success in your life, you travel, you eat well, you drink champagne, you buy expensive toys. At some point, okay, I'll go Jay lyric because you already put me on the spot, but I drink all this Ace of Spades just to piss it out. Like the idea is like at some point, like you can only buy so much stuff and that you get jaded, that fades. And when you have children, you get to see the world again through their eyes, to travel with them. We touched on travel before, to let them meet people. And you're their Uncle Tank, that, more than anything else, to be able to mold someone in a way that you would like the world to be. And you hope that as generations pass and new generations come, the arc of good bends, arc of time bends toward the good. I don't know. I'm not quoting it properly, but the idea is that you hope that tomorrow is always better than today. And if you're a parent or you're a mentor or a foster parent or a big brother, big sister, you're help making the world we all want to live in next year.
I love that. Couldn't have said it better, man. And I can't believe that we're under an hour. We're going to keep it under an hour. I'm not going to go lengthy with a close. I'm going to say I thank each and every one of you. You're all very special to me, whether I've just met you personally this year, Sam and Devon, or whether I've known you for 20 years and longer, Devlin and Ferdinand. You guys are not just Wealth Our Way family to me. You're someone that's in my network who I consider to be close and I can lean on and talk to. And I thank each and every one of you. I also want to thank everyone who's been here with us. The usual suspects, Sister Tashawana, Ariane, the staff, Zach and Renee. Like all of this happens because of the support and the networking and the fellowship that you guys bring to the table. So I'm extremely thankful. I'm so undeserving of everything that happens in my life. And I hope that I can be to everyone what y'all are to me. So thank you very, very much. I wish you guys the most amazing Thanksgiving tomorrow. Eat yourself into a food coma because I will be beating you to it. With that being said, we will sign off under an hour. Take us away, production team.